Hi.
Hi, Misha. I'm Megan. My question was, how can you be such a social butterfly and like not be afraid, other than the fact that you're a celebrity and a lot of people talk to you and whatnot, but how do you have no fear?
I'm terrified right now.
So am I.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Like so do you get nervous talking in front of people?
Yes,
Yeah.
I have very bad social anxiety, and I just want to know how you say yes to all these experiences that you do and like, not be afraid, like tips basically.
I'm tempted to like pull you up on stage and make you sit up here for the next half an hour, but I won't do that because I'm not that cruel. But just so you know that impulse is there, alive in me. Full disclosure. It's funny. I actually am definitely an introvert. Like I've done these like, personality tests, and I am all the way, like needle in the red on the introvert end of the spectrum. Like given the opportunity to hang out with somebody or go have dinner or go stare at the wall by myself, I definitely pick stare at the wall by myself. And I also am kind of shy in a lot of situations. I have a younger brother who I used to always be so enamored of because he would just talk to strangers, and I was like terrified of people. But I think that if you're sort of thrust into a situation where you just kind of have to confront a fear, it seems to dissipate somewhat. I mean, I still get nervous, a little bit coming up on stage, but I've done it so much now that a lot of that anxiety is gone. But the first time I came in to do a convention, I was like, they want me to come do a convention, and part of the thing is going to be a panel. And I was like, all right, that sounds fine. And you hear panel, everybody knows what a panel is. It's a few tables lined up, maybe 8 or 10 people sitting up doing a panel together. Maybe I'd have to field one question, but it would be fine. And I got backstage and I realized, oh, it's just going to be me and there's no table. And I'm going to just have to talk. I was like terrified. But somehow, I don't know, I have a little bit worked through that anxiety over time, but I actually think that just pushing yourself up against that thing that you have fear of or resistance to, like once you do it a few times, it kind of starts to go away. I think a lot of fear is related to uncertainty, so not knowing how something is going to go or what the outcome is going to be is something that gives us anxiety. But once you do something a number of times and you start to see, all right, I get how this is going to unfold, it becomes less scary. I remember when I was, how old are you?
I'm 17.
When I was 18, my girlfriend at the time and wife now, we decided that we were going to start a sleepaway summer camp for underprivileged urban teens. And it was a totally harebrained idea for people who had no idea what they were doing. And we had to and we decided that we were going to do that in the spring, and it was for that summer. So we just had like 6 weeks to put this thing together, and we needed to raise a lot of money. And so we just started going door to door. And my wife was totally fearless. And we decided we drove to a rich neighborhood, and we split up. She went one way and I went the other way. And I saw her like just walk right up, knock on the door. They opened the door, invited her into the house, shut the door, and she was gone. And I was petrified. I was just sitting there. I remember I approached somebody's, I walked down the walkway to their steps, and then I walked back again, and then I did it again, and then I sat under the tree in their yard, and I was like, my heart was pounding, and I was just working up the courage to go knock on the door. And then when I finally did, I gotta do it, I knocked on the door, and I was so nervous that they were like, sure, we'll give you whatever you want. This poor kid looks like he's gonna faint on us. And they gave me like $25, and it was just like that first thing broke the ice, and the next one was a little bit less scary, and then after a while I was like, this is fun. like I was having a great time, and people were like totally into it because we were into it. And we ended up raising like all the money we needed, just knocking door to door on random, admittedly in rich people's neighborhoods, but. And we kind of lied. We were like, we live nearby, which we didn't. So they felt like we were neighbors, but it was for a good cause. Anyway, it's just a little story about like pushing through. I think when you push through the fear, it gets easier. But everything is scary at first. And you're young, you're only 17. You have your whole life to be terrified of.